Yo, what's good, guys? It's Vilify here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Cell Max no item run that I managed to finally get. I say finally, but it's been about 2 days since the event came out. Finally managed to get the RNG that I needed to get this completed. A little bit of a pain in the ass, for being honest. Just kind of a frustrating RNG experience, but nothing that someone couldn't handle. On the global side, I really don't know how people are going to be doing the no item run, so it'll be really interesting to see how that goes. On my side of things, you can see that we're just kind of basically running like a mono int team with the gods as well. Super Tech God Goku is just insane still, right? Like he's just like one of the few units that can actually tank this cell. So it's the same thing with the Hercule, right? So we just kind of brought some of the cheat code units that are just actually able to tank super attack, and we kind of went ahead and went from there, right? So you'll see how later on we get really lucky, right? Like the Int Vegito heal turns out to be like just like the push that we needed, right? Just getting that full heal at the end, getting back up to the maximum HP is just really like the little nudge that we needed to get over the edge here, right? And we have the problem, like, I'll go ahead and talk about it as I'm kind of running through this event, right? But the issue is just like the fact that, you're trying to stack these units and you just can't do it. Like they just don't stack fast enough, right? So you'll see that the plan, what you low-key got to do with the gods, don't get them their 18 key because they hit too hard. So just make sure you keep them at the 12 key so you can kind of get additional stacks and benefit from that. And, Int Hercule obviously is going to do his thing. He is like just an absolute god in this event. Like he just does not take any damage. Just the damage he does is like whatever, but you'll just see how hard, like, he can just tank, right? Like he takes one hit, it's a lot. I think he takes like 90k from Cell, like right there, right? And then after that, he's fixed up. Like he takes another AoE and it's like 90k, right? So he just needed like the quick hit to get that defense going, and then he's ready to go. And he's just, this rotation of Tech Godku and Hercule is like exactly what you need in order to get this done. And then the RNG comes from your floaters not getting locked in the wrong spot, because obviously, if they get locked in the wrong spot, we cannot reverse the status ailment that we do get from Cell, right? So that's where you kind of got to keep an eye out for him, but we managed to get it done. This is a little bit of a longer run compared to the original one. I think it's about 20 seconds longer, but that's just because we try and take our time, right? Like you got to go slow in here if you want to get it done. As slow as you can go, right? Like it's like at max, like you're running in this event for probably like 8 or 9 turns, I'd say. And a lot of that is just thinking like, what is the best way to play this? So, make sure that if you have a friend supporter, especially on the JP side, you want to have the more duped out Trunks of Vegeta linked up with Namek Goku, because Namek Goku is just so good in here. It's absolutely insane to see this glow up that our boy Namek Goku has seen in the last 48 hours or so. Like he went from being one of those units that was like, just a joke, right? Everyone was like, he's so good at Quest, and now look at him, right? Like he's literally like so insane. He's cracked, and there's just so much that he's doing. It's incredible. He's just bringing so much to the table, and I'm so happy that they kind of gave him the buff that he needed. Otherwise, you guys are seeing Trunks of Vegeta. I say buff, but just the content that suits his playstyle, right? Where he's got the stacking, the attack against extreme class enemies, the buff in slot 2, the buff in slot 3. He just looks so well in these spots, and when you get a potential quad super from our boy Namek Goku, it opens up, like the sky's the limit with just how high his defense can get. And I was just really impressed with what I saw. It's awesome to see that he's finally getting the treatment that he kind of deserves, where he aged out really quickly, especially with the red zone. Like he came out at the end of August. By the time January rolled around, it was like, all right, this guy's a joke. Beginning red zone, obviously he was cooking, but when we got to the time that we got to like the third phase, or like baby and stuff like that, he was already like kind of aged out. So just kind of seeing a lot of these units get revivals. One specific instance that I can think of off the top of my head is somebody like our boy, who is it? Piccolo, not Piccolo, I'm tripping. Pycon has a nice little resurgence with his Ghost Usher effect. That is obviously really powerful. We have our boy Int Broly, looks pretty good regardless of the Saiyan buff that happened. I've seen a lot of people completed with that. The LR gods I think have unfortunately, because I prefer the Super Saiyan 4s overall, but I think if we're being objective, I think the gods are probably the better unit now that the Cell Max event exists, just with that dodge chance alone. Obviously countering the Super is amazing, but not the best chance to rely on that type of mechanic. And you guys will see that going forward, that the gods literally need to get one dodge and they pull it off. So now we're starting to get into the big brain plays, right? So what I'm thinking is we get the W on this turn or the next turn, and when we come back, we'll have Vegito ready to go with his heal, because we'll take a lot of damage in the next turn. So you guys will kind of see like my strategy going forward is like keep Vegito on rotation and then get the heal and then float him off. That was kind of like the approach that I had to take in order to get this done. But you guys can see like we're moving pretty well, and these first 2 phases obviously are a joke, so I'm never really tripping about that. But now that we've kind of moved out a little bit here, we're getting to the dangerous area, right? Like my chair's gonna sweep a little bit, but we got to the dangerous spot where we're about to finish up phase 2, and then when we get into phase 3, that's when things really start to get real, right? Like right here, this is the hardest portion of anything in the game at the moment. It's this little part of the Cell Max fight, so we are already in like a risky territory, right? It's like, do I feel I have to transform, right? Yeah. So if you don't know, now Namek Goku is, you know, he's stacked up pretty well. I haven't checked defense. I don't really see the need. And then, yeah, so we're gonna, yeah, all right. I'm trying to just catch up with myself here, right? So now that this Trunks and Vegeta are going to go ahead and get their supers, they're not going to die in one hit, right? So we're praying that the super is on Trunks and Vegeta, because I think they do 2 or 3 supers right here, and then we know the defense is fine, and they get to keep that defensive raise, right? So we're already to that point where we're thinking like this is the safe spot, and we got to just go ahead and rock with it. But it's obviously not a guarantee that we're going to get that. Yep, and here comes the super. I think this is about 200, 300k. Yeah, so 200k after a double, like a super like that. And then, you know, Namek Goku 7.9 million. You guys get to see how hard he's hitting, right? Like, it's pretty incredible, right? Yeah, and then, you know, we got a double super right here, another 7 million. Like, this is just where Namek Goku absolutely thrives. He's raising defense on all of these super attacks. He's just getting better and better and better and better and better. So, yeah, triple super right there, all over 7 million. That's impressive stuff, no matter how you split it. All defensive raises. Now, obviously, he's not tanking the hardest hitting attack in the game at the moment, or one of the hardest hitting attacks in the game, at least in difficult content, right? So this is where the RNG comes into play, right? We don't want them to take a hit, but if we do take a hit, it does guarantee that we get the dodge with Vegito, right? Or the fusion with Vegito, right? So, you know, we're gaming right now. We're finally getting set up to where we need to be. Things are starting to get intense. So we do have the nullification. We did get a nice little bit of damage in right there. We've almost got him halfway down. They take the hit. If they would have taken that one, it was game over, but they didn't. So now we get the fuse, and we are ready to go with our boy Vegito. Now that he is gaming, like, we're almost like essentially right where we need to be. We're getting set up perfectly. Now we have God Goku obviously in the tanking spot, and then we have one more turn of guard from Vegeta and Trunks. So it's like if we make it out of, we got like one more turn after this one, and then so yeah. So we're gonna see the gods. We got one more turn after this one, right? So this is going to be like the butter up turn. Like, please super our boy Goku here so we can make sure we get to the next turn. And then after that, we are in like prime spot to go ahead and get the W right here, right? So that is what we are hoping for. But whether or not that happens, you know, you guys will just have to wait and see. You know, obviously you guys are seeing this video, so we did get the luck that we needed, but it wasn't easy, right? A lot of struggling. But hey, it's like one of those things, right? Like to me, it would have been morally a defeat if I couldn't get done the Cell Max no item, because I did all the red zone, I've done all the God event. We're working on ESBR still, but there's a way to go for that. So not really tripping about that at the moment. But hey, you know, you got to kind of take each hit as it comes. But we do get the no item run done for this. So the hardest event in the game has been no itemed. So right here is where things get interesting, right? They lock Trunks and Vegeta. But this is where you guys need to pay attention to this turn. A for Namek Goku, B for Hercule, right? So watch Hercule go to work. So 97k right there, nowhere near panicking. Like, that's pretty good. Like, the LR Gods, for reference, took 215k from a normal, right? So take that with a grain of salt, and he dodges the super, and he's taking double digits right here. That is what Int Hercule does. That is the power of Int Hercule in this event. If you guys have him, I highly suggest you put your resources into him. He is so valuable in an event like this, where, you know, defense is such a luxury against this cell. If you can find a unit that's taking those double digits on the hits, you just take it and run. You don't even think about it, right? Yeah, and so you guys can see, right, like 8 million right here from Namek Goku, and we are in a prime spot. So, you know, if you've been paying attention, it comes down to one thing, right? Where do the gods get locked if they get locked? Because if they get locked in the right spot, we're good, right? And let's see, what happens? No one is locked. God Goku is in slot 1. That is all she wrote, right? Now we do this. Go ahead and get it buttered up. And there's no way that Cell Max is doing 500k to God Goku. So we just need either Goku to crit or the gods to go ahead and get their super off. And that is all she wrote for the no item run in the Cell Max event. So, you guys can see it takes RNG. It's not like me just being like a wizard and just performing like a masterclass here. It's just kind of getting a little bit lucky with RNG and locks and stuff like that. But it's definitely possible. On the global side, I'm interested to see how you guys get it done. Because Trunks and Vegeta feel like almost a necessity for the no item run, but I could be wrong. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys are still struggling, let me know down below. I could give you some advice. You know, I've done my fair share of Cell Max stuff, and I've got, you know, people we could talk to. Maybe that I could get you an answer for. But hey, let me know if you guys enjoyed the video. Please let me know down below. Your support means everything to me. Leave a like if you did enjoy it. Subscribe if you are new. Turn on notifications so you don't miss out when I post Dokkan content like this. Going for no item runs worldwide coming up, so we got a lot of fire cooking. I look forward to seeing you throughout the whole path. I'm on the quest to 300 subs. Make that happen. Hit that button if you're new around here. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. I'm out.